What up, guys? Team be here. A little bit tired, but doing a video for you here. This is my Infernity deck that I'm playing now. Now this deck I really like. I've been wanting to build it since the beginning of last format. I had it proxied, and as soon as I saw that a TCG exclusive was Barrier, I was like, yay! And then I was like, it's secret. And I was like, oh, because I knew it was just gonna be way too expensive. In fact, I even pulled a Barrier out of our box and pulled a we pulled a launcher at Sneak Peek, and I was like, why keep this? This is way too expensive deck. But yeah, so I waited, and just like Albert with X-Sabers, I have, don't drop it on the ground, Infernity is almost done. Now, don't keep the fact that almost done away from you. I've been playing with some other friends' Infernity decks. I've been taking their stuff and using it in mine, and this deck looks really, really good. One thing I haven't tested is Escape and Damage Gate, but we'll get to that later. So, we'll get into the deck. One Grepher. It's good. It gets cards out of hand when you got dead cards in hand. Armageddon Knight. I use it more than Grepher because it gets your setup early on. One Street Patrol. Like I said, my stuff is coming in the mail, so I have proxies. Street Patrol. Just one. I don't think you need two. It's good to pitch with Inferno. You can set it. They probably won't attack into it because they think it's like an Necromancer or something like that. It's good. It gets the main purpose of this, in case you don't know, is to get Archfiend at your hand. When you open with like Archfiend and a bunch of spells and traps, or later you draw an Archfiend with a card in hand, you can set everything else, and then remove this from your graveyard to special summon the Archfiend, or special summon a Mirage for more spam. Okay, 3 Beetle. I like the Beetle build. I've liked it since I've been proxying it. It's just good. It gets you 7s, which normally Infernities can't get, and it gets you 9s. So you can go Mistform, bounce all their shit, and then 100 eyes, 100 eyes, 100 eyes, and hope they have a Coerce or an Effect Veiler. One Avenger. Like I said, this baits out DD Crow a lot. I could have like a Necromancer in my hand and these two engrave, and then I go summon Necromancer, switch to defense, and if they have a Crow, they'll probably use it on this one early on because they don't want 100 eyes spam, and then I can bring this guy back out, tribute him for 2. It's good. Let's see. So 1 Avenger. 3 Mirage. Mirage is such a good card that you always want to be able to use it when you have it. And with 2, I have it in my hand with other monsters, and I have to end up setting it and stuff like that, which kind of sucks. I can also, if I have 3, I can pitch one off with Inferno and not have to worry about it as much. Plus with 3, I can make more 100 eyes spam, and I can use Escape to bring these guys back, and it's really good. 3 Necromancer, you know why he's good, and 3 Archfiend, once again, you know why he's good. Next we got the staples. We got Dark Hole. Foolish is a staple in this deck. Helps get your graveyard set up early on. Trinade for big pushes because Cold Wave is hard to play out of without Plague, and I hate using Plague Spreader so much in this deck. 1 Launcher. Gotta play the 1. 1 for 1. Don't forget about 1 for 1. If you have a Necromancer in hand, and like if you have like a Necromancer, a Mirage, and an Archfiend in hand, you can activate this. Send the Mirage, or send the Necromancer to, or the Archfiend, I'm sorry, to grave. Then special summon the Mirage in your hand, and then normal summon the Necromancer from your hand, and then you got no cards in hand and pluses because you can use Mirage. You got your Reborn staple. It works really well with Archfiend. If you top deck, that's why I love this deck. I'll get to that in a minute, but let's go on to the deck. Top decks. I got top decks are in this deck. 2 MST, you have to run this with Decree and Oppression. Oppression fucks this deck, and Decree fucks this deck. Decree more so than Oppression. But yeah. Decree early game, I pretty much lose. Call, it's another card like Reborn, where you can get a free search off Archfiend. Damage Gate, there's some testing. If you don't know what Damage Gate does, whenever you would take battle damage, you can special summon a monster from your grave with that much battle damage or less. Damage a dog in mine. Yeah. So, anyways, yeah, so this is almost always, like, if you take damage on the, it's just like Gores, activate this on the last attack they do, you can special summon a Necromancer in defense, because Necromancer has 0 attack. Not only that, but you can use this on an Archfiend if you take enough damage and search card. Once again, another proxy. Escape from a Different Dimension. Escape from a Different Dimension is good because if they bottomless an Archfiend and you have no cards in hand, you can activate that, get a free search. If you remove a Mirage with 100 eyes, you can do that as well. There's just a lot of good plays. If they DD Crow, your Avenger, you can get it back. stuff like that. One trap's done. There we go. My screen kind of turned off there. One trap's done. Your opponent is going to take care of all the cold wave and crap like that because they're going to want to hit you early, so you don't really have to worry about that much. One torrential, staple. Same with Mirror Force, and same with Solemn. Now bottomlesses I don't run. I don't like bottomlesses in this deck because they sit down until your opponent summons something big. You know, when you have to set an Avenger, or you have to set a Mirage to get out of cards in hand or something like that, or they book a moon, your whatever, the Archfiend, Necromancer, any of that. Well, Necromancer not so much, but Archfiend, anything like that. They can kill it with a full Helm Knight. You can go Compulse. I like Compulse a lot better. You can see it out of way more situations. Speaking of that, if you have a... where'd it go? Oh, that'll bend in half. DT Compulse for trade. Hit me up, because I need one more of those. I like those better than Super, because Supers are way too expensive. Don't stick in my deck, please. Okay. 3 Inferno. Once again, I don't know why I don't have Infernos, but they set up graveyard plays. It's one of the best -3s in the deck. Let's see. 3 Barrier, because it's like a Solemn, and they're only $35 now, so yay! And 1 Break. You can remove barriers and launchers and all this other stuff to use it. So it's good. Now, as far as top decks, there are a lot of good top decks you can do in this deck if you have your graveyard set up. If you have your graveyard set up, there's so many top decks you can do. Let's see. Assuming you have your graveyard set up, which means you would have, let's see, one of these guys in grave, one of these guys in grave, one of these guys in grave, or one of these guys in grave. Not so much that guy. Here's your graveyard setup that you want to have. These 3 grave. You want your Avenger as your tuner. You want your Necromancer and your Archfiend to bring back. Because you bring back these, you get search, and then this guy, can search out your, or bring back your Avenger. So, if you have those engraved, you have a lot of good top decks that you can use to come back out of any situation. You have, let's go through them. You can top deck a Reborn. If you top deck a Reborn, my mouse stops freaking out there. There you go. You can top deck a Reborn to bring back a Necromancer, which brings back an Archfiend and searches a card, so there's a top deck. You can top deck a Launcher to bring back your Archfiend and Necromancer. Archfiend will search a barrier or, you know, whatever other thing you need, or Mirage, and then you can use this to bring, you can use a Necromancer to bring back Avenger, 200 eyes, spam it again. So there's a top deck. Any of the 2 remaining Archfiends you have, because you reveal them, you special them, you search your Launcher, you search your Barrier, you search your Break, you search whatever you need in the current situation. Any of your other 2 Necromancers, because once again, same situation. Necromancer switches to defense, so you got a big ass defense guy. Then you use his effect and bring back an Archfiend and search a Launcher, a Break, a Barrier, or whatever. And last but not least, you got any of your 3 Mirages that you run, or at least that I run. Mirage, you tribute it off, it's just like a Launcher. Best case scenario, you draw this guy and you have a Street Patrol engraved. You can remove Street Patrol to special this guy, tribute him off, get Necromancer and Archfiend. Archfiend search another Mirage and or Launcher, more than likely a Mirage because you've probably used your Launcher. Necromancer, since you have, once you get the Mirage to hand, you summon it. Necromancer bring back a Avenger, Archfiend, Mirage, or Avenger, Archfiend, Necromancer. Synchro for 100 Eyes Dragon, remove this guy, spam, 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 and you still have him left in hand. So, to recap, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cards you can top deck. 9 cards you can top deck to come back out of any situation if you have your graveyard set up. That's pretty damn good. I don't know many other decks that can top deck one of 9 cards to come back. So yeah, top decks in this deck. Oh my god. Okay, on to the, we already got like 9 minutes. So, on to the extra deck. We run 1 Armory Arm, because you can go Necromancer into Avenger to make Armory Arm, because it makes the OTK. You can. For your 5s, you've got Catastor and Stygian Insurgence. If you don't know what Stygian Insurgence does, if it destroys a monster by battle and sends it to the grave, it goes up to 3,000 and can attack again. So it's good. Alright, for your 6s, you run Brio and Goyo. Not really explanatory on that. Although, when you're normally going for Brio and Goyo, your first setup, your first play you want to go for is Goyo, You always want to save the Brio, because you save the Brio for when you have a lot of cards in hand you need to get rid of them. Brio is multi-purpose like that. You can like set your hand, and then if you have 2 monsters, you can pitch those 2 to bounce 2 of your own cards back so that you get them out of hand. Only one level 7, Black Rose Dragon. Let's see, 8s, we got a lot. We got Stardust. Red Dragon Archfiend. Not many people run this, but you'll see why. Plus, this deck has a hard time getting rid of can't be destroyed battle monsters. Woo, I'm trying to go off on me again. Colossal Fighter for the OTK. Scrap Dragon, because it's good. Infernity Doom Dragon. I wish I could fit a Darkened Dragon in here, but this is just as good. Let's see. Only 200 Dice Dragon, because while I do run a 3 Mirage, I would rather get a Stardust and have setup. Mistworm, just 1. That's all you really need. And my secret surprise, Red Nova Dragon. Oh my god, this card is so good. You can go... How can you do that? You can go... there's so many ways you can do this, but the main way to do it is with Beetle. Just generally. Beetle, you go Red Dragon Archfiend, summon Beetle, tribute Beetle, get 2 more Beetles, synchro Red Dragon Archfiend, 2 Beetles for this. Your opponent's probably not going to book him in one of the Beetles because they're like, whoa, what the hell? What are they doing with, you know, a Red Dragon Archfiend, 2 synchro, or 2 tuners? It works like that. Another way you could do is if you go the Necromancer, Archfiend, with Archfiend, search the Beetle. If you haven't normal summoned that turn, you use Necromancer, bring back the Avenger, synchro those 3 for a Red Dragon Archfiend, then normal summon the Beetle and, you know, do it. Red Nova Dragon is just as good as Stardust. It loses to the same stuff Stardust does, which is Compulse, Deprison, that kind of stuff. But if you don't know, it still has the attack negate, and it makes it painfully obvious that you can negate attacks that this card targets too. It's like, when your opponent's monster declares an attack, you can select it, then remove and play this card and negate the attack, so it makes it painfully obvious it's got a target. But, it gains 500 for every tuner in the grave, so more than likely to get him out, you're going to need at least an Avenger and 2 Beetles in grave. So that's a 1,500 point gain. So he's from 35 up to 5,000 points just when he comes out, unless they have like a D-Fish or something like that out. Not only that, but while Stardust does the once per turn, it can negate, you know, a destruction effect. So if I go, you know, Infernity Break, targets Shooting Star, obviously they're going to negate, and then I can go Dark Hole instead. Red Nova Dragon says, this card cannot be destroyed by the effects of your opponent's spells, traps, or monsters. So they have to Book of Moon this and then use destruction effects, or they have to Deprison, Compulse, you know, something like that, or run it over by battle. But with 5,000 attack, it's, I mean, what are they going to do? Ram a 5-headed dragon into it? So yeah, now we just got to get the side deck and we're done with this bitch. Let's see, we got a Chimera Fortress, 2 Cybers. We side into a little bit of a beatdown because game 2 they're going to side in Crows and Crevices and all that other stupid stuff. 2 Crows, 2 Rykos. If I had a third one, I'd side that, but I don't. And yep, got Ryko. 1 Mind Control, 2 Crossout, 2 Book, and 3 Dust Tornado. Thinking about taking out the Dust Tornadoes for Twisters. I don't know because Decree and Oppression fuck this deck over, but I can chain Dust Tornado to either one of those. So, thanks guys. Hit me up on any suggestions you might have, and peace.